What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Toy Talk. It is Monday, October 3rd, and we're here with you. My name is Toy Father. We got No Chewing. We got Toy Addict 17. And we got a nice show for you today. We're really excited for it. We got a special guest with us, Red Wagon, Dioramas. We're really excited to have him on. And we're going to be just talking about dioramas, toys, and just having some fun, really. Now, how are you guys doing?
Good.
Yeah?
Doing good.
Yeah.
Doing well.
I feel, you know what? I feel like everyone's energy level is like when it should be when it's like a Wednesday.
Yeah, right.
Like,
Yeah.
you're getting through the week and you're like, oh, God, let's just, come on.
No.
So, like, I know it's Monday, but we're going to get through it. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight. We're going to,
I just thought you were going to add in, well, it doesn't matter how your Monday's going because it's about to get better.
well, you didn't let me finish. Well, as No Chewing said, it doesn't matter how you're feeling on whether it's a Wednesday or a Friday, because today's Monday. And you know what? It's Toy Talk Day, and it's going to get better. I'm going to guarantee you on that. For those of you who are all with us right now. All right. So remember, I'm going to go through our general plugs before we get started. Follow us, Toy.Father, No Chewing, Toy Addict. You can follow us the way we are on Instagram. Don't forget to follow us on toy.talk for you. And that is our other Instagram page too. We have a general tree link that's on our profile. You can check it out. We have our merch store. We have our YouTube page. And if you're on our YouTube page right now and you have not subscribed, first of all, shame on you. Second of all, please just do it. All you have to do is click that little button that says subscribe. I'm not asking you for money. I'm just asking you to click that button. If you click that button and we bring up our subs, that would be so much fun for us.
Absolutely.
And if you're liking what you watch, please crush that like button as we go along throughout the whole stream. So everyone who has joined us from the past, anyone new joining us, we like to have some fun. We like to have a great show. We rely on your comments. Please write them in, type them in. We'll read them, and we'll make sure that you'll get your screen time too. We want to make sure that this is an interactive live YouTube show. So when we have Red Wagon Dioramas on, I want you to type in some questions. We want to hear about all of the questions that you have for him, for us. Heck, whatever. If you keep it kind and keep it nice and keep it funny, then we'll be all good. All right, general plugs. Today is the first day, no chewing, of what?
Tusktober. So Tusktober is a month full of fun themes, no pressure, pretty loose on what you need to do about it. Themes are very open-ended. And the cool thing about it, it's only on weekdays. We're not asking for weekend stuff because we're all busy. Monday,
No,
Wednesday,
because that's
Friday.
when you should be shooting it on the weekends.
I'm not trying to dictate when you do it. But Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, there's a theme tuned up. So if you want it to be spooky, it can be spooky. If you just want to do toy photography, cool. If you want to do reels, cosplay, it's all cool. It's all welcomed. Use the hashtag Tusktober, tag Toy Talk for you in Instagram. We'd love to see it. We'll probably end up sharing it, maybe feature it on the page. It's a cool month, and it's all to honor our dear friend Tuscan Raiders who passed away. But, you know, throughout all the stories shared about him, he loved toys, and he knew what the real joy of toy collecting was. So this one's for him.
Yeah, definitely. Danny, we got Hollow Screams.
Yes. So that's for talking movies. So we had an awesome show on live streaming on yesterday with First Try Fig. So if you get a chance, go check that out. We reviewed The Thing. So for the whole month of October, we're going to be reviewing horror movies, a classic, new movies. I believe the next movie we're going to review is the new Hellraiser that's supposed to be dropping soon. And
Oh,
I
cool.
think we spoke about Child's Play, the first Child's Play movie, also because the new season of Chucky's coming out. So I know you're not a fan of dolls.
For
Uh,
those of you who don't know, I have a huge fear of dolls, and I hate them. That's
how
it.
about clowns? Do you like clowns?
I hate clowns. I
Hate
hate
clowns.
I hate
Oh,
clowns.
Well,
I
you
mean,
would love.
no. I'm sorry. Okay, well, okay. Let me get into some of my. You're gonna be my psychologist for a sec. First of all, evil
Good
clowns
luck.
are terrible, right? Evil clowns are always like there's actual like phobia of like clowns, right? I don't have that. However, when I was 6 years old, I went to like this fair, and there was a clown there, and he was making balloon animals, and I said, "Could I have a dog?" And then he said, "Make it yourself, kid." And then from then on, I've hated clowns.
Oh man.
That's a true
Now,
story. That's a true
what
story.
Surly Carney made you afraid of clowns for the rest of your life?
He didn't have
so
to
you
be so
just
mean. I was only
so
eight
you just
years
hate
old.
clown. So you just hate regular clowns. Now, see me, I love clowns. I love the Joker. I mean, he's considered a clown. I love it from Pennywise from It. He's a nice clown. Now, here are the clowns. Now that we're
I wouldn't
speaking
describe
about
him as a
clown,
nice clown, but yes.
I got these guys today.
What
What are those? What are those?
is that?
These are the killer clowns from outer space. I got these
Okay.
from Spirit of Halloween, and these little fuckers dance. So I was so excited to get these today.
Are
But
those just stuff that you would put like in your front yards?
well, no, they're like little. No, you can't put these in the front yard. But these
I
are like
mean,
little. What do they call these? What the hell are these called?
What's up,
Anyways, they're little
Unworthy?
figurines that dance. You know what I'm saying? They
oh,
sell
okay.
these. Yeah. So I wanted these bad. I ordered the little gun, laser gun they use in the movie. So that movie was so funny when I was growing up. So it was funny that we were talking about clowns. But yeah, Hollow Scream, 31 Days of Hollow Scream. We're gonna be reviewing movies, horror movies. And then Wednesday, Black and Wednesday. So every Wednesday, I'm doing a collab. Anybody could join. It could be any kind of shot. It doesn't have to be Halloween based. So for every Wednesday in the month of October, I'm going to be posting a black and white shot. So other than that, Pig Bar tomorrow. Boys will be on the Pig Bar tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
Wednesday. Wednesday.
Awesome.
On Wednesday, not
Wednesday.
tomorrow. I see. I'm
Don't go
already.
looking for him tomorrow.
Wednesday.
Make sure this
I
is
think
right.
Yimbo's doing
All
a
right, we're
stream
good.
tomorrow, but
Yeah.
Yes.
Wednesday, Pig Bar. Rowdy Boys will be hosting the Pig Bar tomorrow. I mean, Wednesday. Okay, yeah, there we go.
Wednesday.
Today is Monday.
Today's Monday.
Today's Toy Talk Day.
Yes.
Toy Talk Day. Post your pictures. The
Yes.
theme is bad guy. Any bad guy.
Tustober, Blacken Tuesdays.
Black and
Tuesdays.
Black and Wednesdays.
Black and Wednesdays.
Hashtag #Black and Wednesday.
Okay.
Thank
and horror screams on movie talk, talking movies. Oh gosh,
yeah.
so terrible.
So it's gonna be exciting. I can't wait. This is like I love the month of October. So
yes,
that's fun. It goes quick.
Yeah.
It goes real quick.
Just want to go quickly through the stream. We got Unworthy Collector. Yes, see, some people like the heavy metal. KJ Smith.
So KJ.
Unworthy again. I need a no chewing t-shirt. Yeah, that's an awesome one. Collectible Fun. He's in the house. Big Manny Fresh. Cox Create. He can't be with us tonight. He's feeling a little under the weather, so he's just going to take the night off. We miss you though. Thor, how you doing, buddy? Green Geek. We got Realm of Toys. Oh, we got Sharon here. Nice.
Hey, what's up?
And then we also got Thor again. Won't be there tomorrow. Blank screen. All right. Well, one more shameless plug. If you have not hit the subscribe button, just hit it. I'm not asking you to pay me $1. I'm asking you to click a button. So please click that button. Get the word out. Make sure that you tell all your friends. Subscribe to this stupid YouTube channel. And we'll have some fun. All right, well, it's time to bring on our guest. He's been waiting patiently. He's a great guy. Let me do a little intro on him. So let me tell you, I met this guy about a month ago in person, and it wasn't under the best circumstance. It was actually at Tuscan Raider's wake, but we agreed to meet up, and I underestimated how tall this guy was. My goodness, or you know what? I underestimated how short I am. I'm a short guy.
5'2". 5'2".
I'm not 5'2", although
One
Cox
one to
Ray
one
did-
scale.
Cox Ray did make a joke about being 5'4", and I'm 5'5". Okay, it's nothing's funny about that. So anyway, so we DM'd each other. We said we'd meet at the wake, and we did meet at the wake. And while it was a very somber, sad day, we were encouraged to celebrate everything for Tuscan. And for a while, we stayed there and talked. Red Wagon Dioramas. We just talked. We talked about how Ryan impact us in our toy photography and in our Instagram and how we met. He had befriended Ryan and invited him to some local get-togethers in terms of sharing toys. He had also just shared with me how he grew his YouTube page. If you don't follow him, you can click subscribe on his YouTube page, which is Red Wagon Dioramas. And basically, this guy, he really just does this for the love of toys, but also for the love of the craft of making dioramas. And he doesn't do it for money at all. He does it for himself. But he's a great person. He's local, local for me. And let's welcome David, aka Red Wagon Dioramas. How you doing, buddy?
Hi guys, how are you?
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, what's going on?
Thanks for having me on.
Thank you for coming on. We really appreciate it. I know it's kind of short notice, but we really appreciate it. Just like I guess three of us can really relate. David was like, "All right, tell me what I have to do." I was like, "All right, this is our show. It's on at this time. We're gonna ask these questions." And he's like, "Okay, great. Let me ask my wife." And
I still haven't ran past the extra show we're doing this week by my wife.
It's 30 minutes. It's just 30 minutes.
Well, my wife has a school meeting tonight, so she's with so she's like occupied, and I'm like, all right, I can sneak this in.
Oh yeah, I know. That's always great when they're busy.
No, I've been looking forward to it. I'm excited to be here tonight, guys, and share my love of action figures with you guys, and share some diorama stuff and whatever else we talk about.
Yeah, we really can't wait. We really want to dive into it. But
I love your background, man. That's
yes, the display is amazing.
I was actually lucky enough to see a lot of this stuff in person too. Not a lot, but key pieces.
Nice.
There you go.
Oh,
It's 12 feet of IKEA shelves there. Yeah.
12 feet. Wow. But yeah, David had a bunch of pieces at ChrisCon.
So before we get into it, before we jump into like your origin story and your collection, let's break the ice a little bit. Let's talk some discussion questions. We always like to start with some sort of discussion question. It might be totally random or relevant to what we were talking about. What is our discussion question? Oh,
it's gonna be a mystery to me because I forget what the question was.
Oh, okay, yeah. So it's October. It's Halloween. There are themes. This is gonna go right up Toy Addict's alley. Maybe we'll start with him. So, who wins the horror wars? Like, if I'm putting every single horror monster pitting against each other in a no holds bar Royal Rumble. Who is the last thing that is standing? I actually have not really thought about this. So, Toy Addict, let's hear yours.
That's easy for me. I'm a big Jason fan, but I was going to give it hands down. I'm gonna give it to Michael Myers. He's the last one standing.
Okay, can I just say one thing?
Yes.
I mean, Jason and Michael Myers, they're pretty much the same thing, right?
Yes and no.
Okay, explain the difference. Take me to school.
All right. I mean, just the way I described them, Jason is more of a he's more driven by revenge than Michael Myers is. Michael Myers has no conscience of what he's doing. He's like He's like a dog. I think Heath Ledger said it best. It's like a dog chasing a car. It doesn't. It just chases the car. It has no reason to do it. It just does it. So Michael Myers is that. He attacks people and he kills people just because. He has no reason. There is no reason why he does it. Jason is driven by revenge because he saw his mother get killed.
Got it.
So the only reason I say that's the reason. I mean, they're similar because they both wear masks and they're both zero. And I mean, they have similarities in a lot of things. And Jason kind of like has a lot of like more of like experience. Like I mean, in the wilderness and stuff, so he has a lot more experience, like survival wise and stuff like that. But in a war like that, I'm gonna give it to the king of slashers, man. I'm gonna give it to Michael Myers.
All right.
I'm gonna give it to the king of Halloween.
I'm usually a polite host, and I let the guests go first. But I needed to hear Toy Addict. But Red Wagon, what about you? What do you think? Are you a big horror guy?
I'm not a big horror guy, so I don't think I'm a great person.
Neither
for
am
this
I.
discussion.
So it's okay.
I would say like horror movie. Like I like creature films. I like giant creatures. So I think of like Lake Placid with the killer crocodile or alligator or whatever. Movies like that. I like those kind of movies.
Mm-hmm.
Old ones like Tremors.
Yeah,
the Tremors is good.
Tremors is a great movie.
I'm trying to think what was the one the relic or something, like a creature that comes to life. I don't know those
Yeah,
kind of movies.
yeah.
That's what
the
I'm
relic.
into.
Yeah,
and I don't know if those are considered classic horror or not, but that's the kind of movie I think of. So, and what I just thought of, what was the big monster movie? Cloverfield.
Okay.
I'll go with Cloverfield. There you
I
go.
was thinking that you were going to say that.
Cloverfield.
I really liked the first Cloverfield. Had so much promise.
It did.
Can't say I really cared for the lore that was established after.
Yeah, I just like the first movie, but
they're in the talks of making a sequel to the first one now.
They are.
Oh, time.
Really?
It's been like 25 years.
Yeah.
Has it really been that long? Did that come out when we were in high school, or when I was in high school?
I don't remember when it came out.
I saw it once. I wasn't really into it. But...
No chewing.
I'm also not a big horror guy, and as Danny was talking about Michael Myers, I just kept thinking about that scene from Baby Driver where they show up and the guy hands out like masks before they rob a bank, and he's like, "Where are these? I told you to get Michael Myers masks." He's like, "This is Michael Myers with Austin Powers."
That's right. That's great.
For me, the scariest horror figure in my mind is Pennywise. So I'm gonna give it to him. He's just gonna corrupt a bunch of children. I don't know if he can really be killed. I'm trying to remember the movie getting killed by like a golden nugget at one point, but I assume he can come back. I'm just picking him solely by why I'm afraid of clowns, and seeing that movie when I was a kid is the reason why I'm afraid of clowns.
It's not because they didn't make a dog balloon animal for you.
See, I'm not very outgoing. I wouldn't ask a random clown to make me anything.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I would say again, this is such a. I like this question just because like Danny's our resident horror expert, and the rest of us like. I thought
you were gonna call me like a resident good guy or something like that. I love everybody's like
that
the resident
too.
horror guy.
Toy Addict, that too. You're a regular just good guy. So I think I'm gonna go with creatures too, honestly, and you can't argue this because this thing would hands down win the entire Royal Rumble of horror creatures. The Blob, it would just suck everything up and everything would die. Michael Myers, doesn't matter. What's Michael Myers going to do? Stab it?
If John Carpenter's writing the movie, yeah.
I mean, I guess the only thing you could do is maybe blow it up, but I don't know if that help. Like, does that do something to it? I don't know. Okay, well, fair enough. Thanks, guys.
Debate when there's only one person that knows horror.
You need a different crowd. Yeah.
It's those three witches from Hocus Pocus.
They got it.
Yeah.
Why?
And
They just keep coming back. Barbara Streisand is timeless.
So okay, this goes into our next thing. You know, we've really tried to rework toy news and everything like that, but we felt like we could maybe work something in the beginning called hot topics. And this is because I like to go to that store in high school, Hot Topics, and I thought it was relevant also to what we were talking about.
Chris used to buy the necklaces, the little spike ones. And stuff.
I know. I bought. You remember that band Live? Like that band Live. I got a Live T-shirt from Hot Topic. It was great. Well, anyway, here's some hot topics for you. We got what movies are coming out for Hot Topics. Danny, you talked about a few of them.
That are coming up for the month of October that I know of so far are Halloween Ends on the 14th of October. We have Hellraiser for Hulu. It's streaming on Hulu.
Oh, that's Hulu. Okay.
That's a Hulu. Yeah, it's a Hulu special movie. They have what else? I think as far as the ones that I'm looking forward to, I think those are the ones I'm looking forward to. Now, as far as that are movies that are out now, Smile's out now in theaters, and Barbarian is also out. So those are two also. If you're into horror, those are movies to watch as well. Now, as far as like non-horror, yeah, I mean, right now, I'm just looking forward to like, I mean, you guys, I don't know if you guys seen the Black Panther trailer today, and
yeah, that's something I wanted to get to. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, you haven't watched it?
No,
I mean,
haven't had
either.
time.
So looking forward to that movie now.
Oh, after watching the trailer?
After watching this first trailer and the second one, like kind of just like, I mean, after the first trailer, it was like, it got me excited, but the second trailer, like really amped me, like it really hyped me up for it. Like I cannot wait to see it.
Oh man, that's exciting because
agreed.
the first trailer really got me excited for it.
I'm gonna be like a total wreck in this movie because that's like one of the deaths that I really took hard like this year was Chadwick Boseman's death. Dad took that really hard, like along with Kobe's death. So this movie right here is gonna be one of those movies where I'm gonna be sobbing the whole time because you could tell like even in the trailers they put so much heart into it, and you could tell how hard, and even like in interviews, you know how hard it was for them to actually film, and I can only imagine because they all had such a great relationship. So. Like I see something really nice coming. I believe the movie's like they said it. No, Trent, you probably could say this better. I think the movie's like the longest movie, right? It's like 2 hours or something like that. Like they were saying, it's gonna be like one of the.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like one of the longest, like MCU. Like, well, no, not the longest.
No, it can't.
Infinity. No. But I think
like
it's a thing. Yeah, long. It's gonna be pretty long. Like out of like this, I want to say this phase is the longest one from this phase.
Okay. Because I know No Way Home was.
Pretty long.
No Way Home was close to 3.
And Endgame was like 4 hours. So
yeah, it was 3, but yeah,
it felt like 4 hours.
No, it did not feel like it felt like an hour because it went by so quickly.
I mean, time travel just looped back, and we're good. But no, Angela Bassett in both trailers is putting on a performance, and I'm all for it. I can't wait to see what she does with that. It seems like the film is centered on her pretty well.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see it. Dave, have you seen it?
I didn't watch the trailer. You know, I saw people post about it, and I forgot to look it up yet. So
you and me are both in the same boat.
If you saw the first trailer, it's kind of the same, but it adds a little bit more. If you like the first one, you'll probably like the second one.
Can't wait. I love the first one. Like I watched that over and over again. Just going back before we go back to some hot topics. Sharon, so I'm 5'2", slightly. I'm 5'5".
Sharon.
Inch or a mile, Sharon. Inch or a mile. Winning's winning.
They both need therapy. I had spike bracelets back in my ears.
Green, I could picture
that. Oh, I can't imagine Zach with
black nail polish. He had the little swoop going. I
could picture the sleeves ripped off.
The swoop.
Had a cigarette going.
Lightning crashes. Yes, that's what Live did. Gosh. I took his too hard too. This is my second favorite child is the dude. Yeah, I would say that was tough. Wait, did you? Oh, 4 hours. No, it wasn't 4 hours, right? Green has. Oh my god, I would love to see. Did Green? If you have like a old license photo of your goth days, that'd be great.
I'm really hoping for a spiked mohawk. That'd
So in terms of some more hot topics, I'm trying to think of some toy news and stuff. But today there was a Big Bad Toy Store exclusive Spider-Man Infinity War Battle like edition, and it was an SH Figure Arts, and it looked awesome. It looked like a kind of a repaint of one of the old molds, but it has to be a newer mold because at the same time, the one that came out for the movie was about like $50, and that was definitely a re-release and not even a repaint. This one that they're releasing, they're asking for $140. So I was kind of like, I need every Spider-Man, and then I saw that price, and I'm like, I don't need that one, maybe. But I really want it. It looks cool. I don't know. Here's my problem. The Venom SH Figure Arts, the movie one, that one is huge, and I can't wait for that. It looks amazing. That was 130, 120. And I could justify that. This one, I don't think I can. I don't think I can.
140 seems like an awful long jump from their other figures like Toby and Andrew Garfield, which were in like 90, 99. Right? Yeah. So I, you know, and even the promo art that they provide or the shots, it didn't include much. Like they said, other heads and other hands, but they didn't actually show everything that's included with it. I don't need it because I don't collect SH Figure Arts, so
yeah,
it was an easy one for me to decline on.
I know it's still not easy for me, but we'll see.
Chris, just buy it. You know you're gonna buy it.
No, I'm not gonna.
Don't debate. Just buy all of them.
Just do it.
One to rock, one to stock.
Buy two of them. Yes, $280 worth of small scaled Spider-Man
It's
figures.
okay. You pile the loot and the shipping's lower, so you're saving money.
Another big toy news this past weekend, Four Horsemen released the Figura Obscura Headless Horseman. Now, I have to say, that figure looked super rad. I hovered around the buy button in my cart for about I did it for the first few minutes, then I put down my phone, and then it sold out, and I was like, oh, thank God. Then they released it again, and then I was like, maybe, and then I put my own phone, I was like, no, I'm okay. And then I was like, thank God. Then they released it again. These guys really know how to do it. They do.
It was available until about 2 p.m. yesterday, so you had so many opportunities to buy.
so many opportunities.
And you still have one more. I think they said it may be available at Legion Con.
Legion Con or Toy Con?
Really?
Legion Con. So
that
will be after Halloween. So only if you buy it for Chris, and then you can have a Headless Horseman to relive his Disney movie phase.
I'm okay. I was thinking about it, and I was like, what do I do with it other than look at it like longingly, being like, this is awesome, and then take a picture and then store it on my shelf.
That was an instant buy for me. I did the same, Chris. I hovered over it and said, I have all these cons to go to. I need to save my money. And I was like, you know what?
And then 5 minutes later, you're like, I bought it.
Out my alley, I want it, hands down. Because honestly, like when I saw that, because even with the Krampus, I have the Krampus, so it's like
I have the Krampus.
I started thinking like, will they eventually? Like, because I know they're doing the
red
Cosmic,
Krampus.
No, they're doing the red Krampus, but they're doing the Cosmic Legion, and then they have the Mythic Legions. So my initial thoughts is are they eventually going to move into more of like classic horror stuff, like Universal Monsters type style? figures or things like that because they have the vampires. So I was, and then that headless horseman, you could like because you could swap the pieces. So I could take one of the vampire heads, which I'm gonna go to Legion Con to go buy, and you can always pop that thing open, pop that thing on the headless horseman, and there you go. You got Dracula. Perfect.
Oh,
So,
okay.
So
I didn't know. I had no idea
So
where you
I'm
were going with that.
I'm
Okay.
excited for it. I mean, I don't collect Mythic Legion, but again, it was like one of those.
It sounds like you do. It sounds like you do. You got two. You ordered that. You found a Mythic horse in your closet for some reason. I don't know how you just have like, oh, I forgot I have this horse.
If there is a Mythic like figure at the New Jersey Comic Con, which we're all going to, Dave, are you? We're all going to New Jersey Comic Con or Toy Con in October 16th,
Not me, folks.
15th and 16th. Come on,
15th.
let's go. Let's go. You can get you. We have more room in our car.
No, I think I'm going to try to hit up. I'm going to try to hit up Rhode Island, so we'll see.
That weekend.
I've never been to Rhode Island Comic Con, so yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Is that the same weekend?
Actually, I think that's later. That's in November.
Yeah, that's in November.
That's the same weekend as Legion Con.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it.
Yeah.
It's a good show.
What about PulseCon? You guys aren't talking about Hasbro and all their reveals this weekend?
Well, we're getting there.
Oh, okay.
Are we?
All
Right. We're getting there.
I mean, that seems
Let's
to be
talk
toy
about
news.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah. And this is the conversation where I'm quiet.
Well, let's
I
talk
say
about some of
nothing.
the reveals. Let's
It's
talk about
okay.
some
He's
of the
waiting for
reveals.
McFarlane Con.
Well, I mean, the last
Can't
thing
wait.
we're really going to talk about is that HasLab.
Oh
Danny.
boy.
Just kidding. We're not going to talk about it. We won't talk about it.
We have a Toy Talk stance. Your money, your choice. Buy what you like, and that's it.
So yes, Hasbro PulseCon was Friday, Saturday, right?
Yep.
And I wish I had a list of everything that they released, but I will tell you what I did buy. I bought. Oh man, what did I buy? What did I pre-order? No, Trudy, what did you pre-order?
Let's start with Marvel. So they released. Actually, I'm just pulling it up right now, but they first spoke about the HasLab, but after that, when the stream cut off, they were going over the 3-pack for Daredevil.
Oh,
so
yes.
we got Daredevil, Elektra, Bullseye as a 3-pack, $75.
That was a must.
Elektra with her like the most enormous hair possible, but I dig it, and I want that new Daredevil. That's the first one that, if we're talking product by product, I definitely bought that one.
I pretty much wanted every single figure from that 3-pack. It's not like I could have passed on any of them. I thought the Elektra looked great. The Bullseye was definitely a must for me. And who doesn't want a new Daredevil? Like new sculpt, everything. It looked great.
It's been a while.
It has been a while. Another thing they did was a classic multiple man figure. You looked all right.
Yeah, they had an entire retro wave. So we got multiple man. We got the X-Men issue 275 Wolverine in the training outfit. They did the non-exclusive 3-pack long shot that looks way better because I think he has a better eye and it seems like he has more accessories. I ain't doing enough research to tell. We got Dark Phoenix. We got Spiral.
Hold on. Dark Phoenix and Spiral. Both of them were must for me, so I did order both of those.
Mm-hmm. Spiral was impressive. The 6 arms, double joint elbows, 6 accessories, 1 for each hand.
Look great.
It was real easy to buy that one.
Avalanche.
Avalanche. If you need an Avalanche, if you like an Avalanche, you finally got one. In the first one in like 10 years or more.
You got an Avalanche.
Did you say you bought any of the X-Men waves or figures?
I only bought the Daredevil 3-pack for Marvel.
You did.
I did. And I already have the old Bullseye, but new face apps and the Daredevil is really what I wanted. So I decided to go for it. Yeah. I like Elektra, and those are great characters. So and I think the only Daredevil I have is the MCU one from the Netflix show.
Oh, that's a great one.
I still have mine in box.
Yeah. But so that was the only Marvel thing I think I pulled the trigger on. I was really restrained. Yeah.
Well, what about the Black Series stuff? Did you get
And
any of
Black
that?
Series, which is my main collection, I only bought Wicket and the Scout Trooper on the cards, and I
Wicket was
didn't
cool.
purchase anything else. So I figured out that I have a good chance of getting a decent card condition from Hasbro Pulse. My shipments usually come in undamaged from them, so that's a good way
Yeah.
for me getting a decent card. So
Right.
picked up those, and well, anyway, we'll continue on. But I got two other things. So.
It is
Yeah,
nice
we're-
that Pulse always ships their stuff in a box. Like I
Yeah.
always forget that about Amazon, where sometimes they don't give a fuck and they just slide in an envelope and then it shows up and it's like compressed. You're like, damn it.
Mhm.
I think you've had some pretty bad experiences, like in terms of just even a box. Like two of your orders have come with crushed boxes.
Most of my Spider-Man figures through Amazon came in a crushed box.
That's
And
crazy.
then my Spider-Man Noir from Target, they bent the top to jam it into the box that they sent it. And then there's this big sticker on the back for like a UPC codes that's going across the entire back. I'm like, I can't have a clean box. It's like in-box collecting's over.
I could
can't do it.
I could picture them boxing. He's like, "Here, take your Noir, loser." And they stick the sticker on it.
They don't even know. They're like, fuck Snake Eyes. Just shoves it out the door.
Right? Forget Snake Eyes. Nobody cares.
Cobra forever.
All right. Well, I'm sure we can go on and on with hot topics, but we have a guest here. We need to get into his origin story. We got to talk about some of his collections. Red Wagon Customs. I looked at your intro to your YouTube page and I saw the origin of why you named yourself Red Wagon. If you want to share that with everyone else, it's a really fun story in terms of like
Sure.
how you adopted it.
Well, I started the YouTube channel after I'd made some of the dioramas, and I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with it, and I needed a name, right? And so the Red Wagon dioramas is just a callback to my childhood. When I was like 4, 5, 6 years old, I had one of those red metal radio flyer wagons, and I pulled it around the yard, and I would build dioramas in it. As a 5-year-old kid, I had my rubber dinosaurs. I'd like pull a bunch of grass and mud and sticks and trees, and I'd set up the dinosaurs, and then if it wasn't dinosaurs, it was moving on. G.I. Joe. So that's where it came from. Just Red Wagon was kind of a callback to my childhood, to happy memories, and I used to play with all kinds of different toys in that wagon. So my YouTube channel is kind of everything from Star Wars to Marvel to anything back from the 80s, when my childhood times. I feel it's a name that captures like what I really like to do is the dioramas and setting up the toys and just set them up and look at them, right? Like behind me. And but it's a broad enough kind of container to throw a bunch of other stuff in the channel too. So I'll do some toy reviews, I'll do some toy hunts, I'll do some just different things with the hobby, So that's kind of what I've done on the channel.
So you kind of touched upon your origin story there, but like what did you get into? How did you? What was the first thing like that led you down this stupid rabbit hole?
I didn't start collecting as an adult until about 5 years ago. I think that must have been 2017-ish, and it was Star Wars Black Series, that's my main collection is Star Wars Black Series, which is everything behind me here. And I saw a Kylo Ren figure. This was right when the first movie was coming out, Force Awakens, and there was a lot of kind of excitement. And I think it was at Kmart, the Kmart in Brockton, which is now closed.
Yeah,
and
all Kmarts are done.
Yeah. But they had that Kylo Ren exclusive. He came with the snowy base and the little setup, and I thought, man, that's cool.
I remember that.
Yeah. So that was my first Black Series figure, and honestly, that was my first. I think that kind of tipped me back into collecting, and I started buying Star Wars figures. And then shortly after that, I came across Marvel Legends, and I think the first Marvel Legends wave that I bought, like I decided to go all in for a Build-A-Figure, was the Sandman Build-A-Figure. And which was great. It was an awesome set
That's
of
an
figures.
awesome one.
Yeah. So, but basically, like what I love is I big into Star Wars. That's probably number one, and number two would be Spider-Man, Marvel, and those are the main things I collect, kind of in those areas. So I also collect some of the old vintage Star Wars stuff from my childhood. I've been kind of filling out that collection. I like the old Kenner stuff. I like some of the modern retro line stuff that Hasbro's been doing. And yeah, but yeah, Marvel Legends. We buy a lot of Marvel Legends. Most of those actually get opened and played with by my two youngest sons. So
Nice.
don't buy a figure from me. It's been well used.
Well, so you talked about like having a nice card. Do you keep a lot of them in their original like packaging?
I picked some of them. So behind me, like I can see my Spider-Man retro card collection. I have those in cases, like the newer ones that have been coming out. You know.
Oh, nice.
Am I breaking up for you guys?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
I just lost you.
We're still here.
Mm-hmm.
You're just frozen. I wonder.
No, he's composing himself.
Yes.
No, I was waiting. It was weird. I lost you guys on the feed here. So what was I saying? Yeah, Marvel. So I have some things in card, but most figures I open. I mean, I'll keep some of the special ones. Right now it's Spider-Man. It's some Star Wars. So,
is there a rhyme or reason of what you would keep and what you wouldn't?
I think it's if the packaging is, I like the retro style packaging just because it's the nostalgia. So I have no interest in like the standard Marvel Legends packaging. I don't really keep any of those in box. It's certainly not the windowless packaging now. But I like the carded retro Spider-Man ones. I like some of the carded Star Wars figures. And I don't know. It's just, it's really what triggers the nostalgia for me. Otherwise, I open it and play with it.
I do have to say, the first time I met you, you had just watched our stream for Tuscan, and I had opened the animated series Venom.
Yes.
And Dave goes to me and he goes, "So you opened that Venom, huh?" Oof. And I was like, "Well, now I regret it."
I've got a carded Venom right in front of me against the opposite wall. I can see him right here, and I'm not going to open him.
See, it was that you bought. I think you bought two, right?
I have two of them. Yeah.
Yeah, you bought two, and then it wasn't until when No Tune was like, "Hey, I got to tell you something. I bought two." I was like, "You bought two?"
It became available again, and I was just like, "Yeah, buy it."
I was so mad. I did keep the box. Whatever.
I really like the carded Kingpin. You guys have the Kingpin on card?
I don't have it on card. I don't have it on card, but I opened it and it's awesome.
Yeah, it's a great figure. And the new Rhino. So I'm all in for like the new Lizard that's coming and the Scorpion and
the animated series.
Yeah, the animated series. All those cards. That's what I like.
Yeah,
I can't wait for that new
Scorpion.
Spider-Man. That Scorpion. The new Spider-Man is gonna be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait. Wait,
that's fun though that you let your kids play with your toys, like the Marvel Legends that you unbox. That's nice.
Marvel Legends are in my house are really toys. They're going to my two younger sons. I have a 7-year-old and an 11-year-old, and they share a room, and it's just piles of Marvel Legends everywhere.
That's incredible. That's amazing.
Yeah, I let my son play with my Marvel Legends. I've been letting him unbox it with me too. So I've set this weird tone where he's like, "What'd you get in the mail?" I'm like, I'm really setting a bad example that Dad keeps getting a toy every 3 days, but
yeah, that's true. It's the same with my house. My wife bugs her a lot, I'm sure. So,
so in terms of so that's your collection. First of all, that's pretty impressive that you only started like 5 years ago. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
How did you get into the dioramas? Did that come second?
Yeah, that came second. I was just inspired, when I had a handful of and it was just Star Wars at the time. When I had Jabba the Hutt, who's up here right behind me. That's the Jabba display right there. I just wanted him. He didn't look right sitting right on the shelf with all the figures standing around him. I was like, he needs to be up on his little platform, right? And I joined a Facebook group, which I'm actually still wearing the shirt here. It's a Star Wars Custom Galaxy. So I promote those guys.
Cool.
But it's a Facebook group for customizing Star Wars figures. And I found that group through other Black Series groups. And in that group, there were guys who were making dioramas and custom figures, and I found a lot of inspiration there. And so it was through other guys seeing their creativity, and somebody had made a throne for Jabba the Hutt out of styrofoam. It's like, hey, it's not that hard, guys. You just cut it here and you paint it, and you do some some clay here, and then you got a cool throne. And that's what I did. So I started with Jabba the Hutt, and it came out so much better than I expected. So I was like, this looks great. And it was just my first try. And then I made the background for him, just some walls, so I could hang up the Han Solo and Carbonite, on the wall. And I just loved it so much. I was like, you know what? I want to start doing this with my collection. I want to display the collection from scenes from the movies. So that's how I got going. And it's like anything, if you really want to do it and you want to learn, you can teach yourself how to do just about anything if you really want to know how to do it. So there's a lot of tutorial videos out there on YouTube, and that's how I learned how to do it. Basic painting, it's basic craft products. It's not very expensive. Most of the materials you need, acrylic paints and styrofoam and some glue, and just creativity. So, for work, I'm an engineer, so I'm like very mathematical, detail oriented, so it's been fun to kind of have this creative outlet. And this all kind of like took off right when COVID hit. So things were slower, at work. So I had more time, and I started making dioramas, and then friends were saying, man, this is so good, you should do a video of this on YouTube. So that's how I started YouTube. And now I have probably a dozen tutorial videos on there on my channel, and whatever, I've got almost 100 videos now, I think, after about 2 years. And so you can watch my videos on how I made everything here behind me, and hopefully that helps other people, add to their own collections. So.
Now, did you have an art background in terms of like when you were younger or anything? Because I always
not really. I don't know. I did like to draw. I like to sketch. I used to sketch X-Men and Spider-Man, comic books. I would read comics. I'd try to copy that kind of artwork. I think I did come from a real crafty kind of family. Like my mom and sister, we did a lot of crafts growing up, and my wife is into that too. So I don't know, just kind of, maybe it is somewhat natural there, but like I said, I think you can learn to do it. It's intimidating, right? To pick up a paintbrush and say, I'm going to paint this, and you're thinking I'm going to ruin it, but I don't know. You might ruin it, but you might come out with something really cool that you really like. So
I like that. I saw No Chewing put it, but if you're listening right now, if you have any questions for Dave, please put it up. We'd love to do it. We're gonna do right after this. Do you mind I don't know if you are mobile, but would you be able to?
You want to see it? You want to see it?
Yeah, we want
Yeah.
to see your dioramas like up close. That would be really neat.
Chris, switch it to a one shot.
Yep.
All right, let me see if this will work. Can I switch the camera direction on StreamYard? I don't know if I can.
Good question.
That's a good question. I have no idea.
Back camera.
I don't know.
All right, can you guys see that?
Yeah.
Yes.
You guys see the blurb
Yep.
in the Mandalorian? Okay. So I will go through the shelf here.
Yeah.
But basically, it's funny. So these are the IKEA cube shelves, and they're
my God, this is beautiful.
5x5 cubes.
Really is.
And so with these shelves, I just took out the vertical pieces
In between.
and in between, so I have these wider display areas, right? And you would think that all the shelves would start to sag and collapse, right, without those supports.
Yeah.
But all you do is you turn them 90 degrees and you push them all the way to the back, and so the back of the shelf is still supported, and now you have these wide open areas to display everything on. So it's kind of funny. My first YouTube video that I posted was how I modified the shelves, and I called it IKEA hack. And that video has far more views than anything else on my channel, just because I showed people how to, change a cube shelf into a wider display. But,
That's my goodness. Look at this.
So
anyway,
the Java one was your first?
So this was the first diorama I made, and I made this throne, and this is just out of pink styrofoam, like an inch and a half thick. And I just used sandpaper and carved it and painted it. And I like these little gargoyle heads are made out of clay. They're very crude. Now you can buy 3D printed ones, But
you made those out of clay?
Yeah, so I just kind of sculpted those by hand.
Nice.
Out of oven baked clay, and put little metal rings in there. I bought it at the some metal rings from Michael's craft store or something. Made the arch background. This is just a paper cutout, from the internet. And that was my first diorama, was just getting Jabba in place.
That's incredible.
But it adds so much to the figures, to have them displayed like this.
Side question:
And then,
do you still have your second second Han Solo Carbonite?
Yeah, I still have it. You need one?
Yeah, I've been thinking about that since I didn't buy it from you during Chris Con.
I have one that's still.
You.
Yeah, I'll sell it to you. Sure. I have to open it and play with it first, though. But... Just kidding. This Tuscan Raider one is one of my favorites, and a lot of people like this one. It's so simple, but it's just layers of styrofoam. You can see the different rock layers just glued together and then just carved with a hot wire cutter. And then lots of layers of paint and watery paint to try to get the rock formation colors. And I had this background image that I found from the desert in California where they filmed it. And I used those colors to kind of play with the paint until I got it right.
Wow,
and
the
I've got
details.
R2D2 down there.
So cool. Wow.
These are all just real lightweight pieces of styrofoam.
Oh, that's cool.
You can see the detail, how it doesn't take much effort. I mean, it looks really good.
So explain again how you got those colors again. Like, what did you use?
I started with a dark brown, and then I just add white to the brown until it gets a little lighter, and I paint that and a little lighter, and I'll use sponges or brushes and different techniques like dry brushing and darker washes. There's a process there, and it's kind of which for me was like trial and error. I'd never done anything like that before, but it took me like a day and a half to try to get the color right, but it came out. Eventually I got it.
Yeah, you killed it. Wow.
And then, so these were my my first kind of trials at it. And then the big one that really took off for me was the Hoth diorama that's down here.
Nice.
And I'm sorry, the lighting isn't working all the way right now. I got the lights have fallen off, but we had a diorama contest in that Facebook group, and it inspired me to try to make something, bigger. And I ended up winning third place in the group that year for this diorama, which was like just kind of a shot of self-esteem and, kind of, validated it, for me. It's like, yeah, these are, I'm doing something interesting here, So I did Echo Base, and like that's a custom Luke Skywalker, and a back to tank that I made. But this is all styrofoam,
David's
plaster.
David, with that back to tank at the con, I was talking with Sir Dork, and both of us were looking at that back to tank, being like, "That's clever." Just admiring your work on that one.
Yeah, and I have lights in it. It lights up. The Luke Skywalker figure. The legs are from a Dana Barrett figure from Ghostbusters. So those are her bare legs with the red dress. But they popped right on to Luke's upper torso from Black
Series.
Oh,
they did. Wow.
It worked great. I've got a little Emperor diorama here. So, the Emperor throne room. These are like scenes that were favorite scenes of mine. This one, again, I don't have the lights hooked up right now, but this is, the Cloud City.
This one's my favorite one of yours.
This is a really cool, that's a pocket door that actually opens and closes to the elevator. And I got George Lucas there right now.
Jeez. That's amazing. Oh, wow. Well, this
Dagobah.
is neat.
Really cool diorama here. This one.
Yeah.
And if you guys want, watch the videos on how I made this on my channel, but use resin for the water and styrofoam, and then these are use a little hole punch to make real leaves.
Oh, wow.
Out of
really?
real leaves, Yeah.
Wow.
That's so neat.
This opens up.
You made that? You made all that?
This was part of a model kit. This lid, this is a plastic model kit.
Yeah.
That is from the 90s. I got it on eBay, but I modified it to fit, cut it up and chopped it up a bit.
Wow. Talent.
And then just some Imperial areas here. Got some Clone Wars going on.
Are those plastic inserts to make the ship?
The walls.
The walls?
These are the space walls that was a product that was made by GPT or GTP Toys for a number of years.
Okay.
They went out of business. So you can't get them anymore. But anyway, and then I got Mandalorian figures up here.
I like your Jawa army.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Bunch of Jawas. This Blurg is 3D printed by a friend of mine in Alabama.
Really?
Oh, really? Wow.
He printed that and made it. It's amazing piece.
Who?
I wouldn't have known that. I thought
Yeah.
I thought you just had one from like Fox.
Did you paint that, or did he paint that?
My friend Gary painted it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
He was selling them for about $100 for. He might still be making them. I don't know.
That's incredible.
It's beautiful. And these are all Black Series figures. This is SH Figure Arts right here.
Oh, cool.
Right. Awesome figure. Ooh, there he goes. But yeah, anyway, and then today I just did the Krykna spiders down here for Mandalorian.
Oh, cool.
Oh, cool.
Wait, are
Star
those
Wars.
spiders actual figures, or did you make those?
These were all bought from Hasbro. They released 3 different sizes. This one back here is from Galaxy's Edge. It was a toy, it's battery operated. And this one I made by hand, a scratch built.
Wow.
The big one.
Jeez. Wow, that's really
One more over here, the trash
Yeah.
compactor.
Oh my goodness, that's so cool.
Yeah.
So how'd you make that door on the back? Is that 3D printed?
Good question.
Yeah, the door actually was 3D printed. I bought that. And then those LEDs do light up. I just don't have it plugged in right now. But, and this is cool. I made the floor so it's all toothed together, the right side and the left side, so you can actually compress this together. It can all slide and get narrower.
No way.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, see how
That's
the floor has
awesome.
kind of like
Yeah.
interlocking fingers?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's neat.
Anyway, that's a good tour for now.
Wow. Now, how often are you making new dios? And
Yeah, I'm kind of slowing down. I mean, I haven't made something. The trash compactor was the last one I made. I finished that up for ChrisCon in July. So I have plans for other stuff, but life is busy,
yeah,
So.
definitely. It's all about balance, right?
Yeah.
Those are awesome, man.
Yeah, those are really
That's
awesome.
beautiful.
So let me get out of here. So thanks for letting me show you guys, because it's really fun to show off.
Yeah, no, thanks for showing us. I mean, I think,
Yeah.
a lot of people in the chat really love that stuff in terms of, look so good.
Yeah, and those are some of the carded
Sick.
Black Series figures I have.
Oh, is
That's
that
awesome.
is that a case?
That's like a hockey jersey case with from Michaels. And then I added some wood to make it deep enough so the figures would fit in there.
Oh, great idea.
But this is the exclusive like Luke Skywalker figure.
Oh, wow.
And then I added George Lucas in there.
That's awesome.
I like that display a lot. It's fun. And then
Yeah,
the
that's a
Rancor
great way to
statue is
display it.
the Rancor's another favorite piece of mine. That's from Gentle Giant. It's a statue.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that looks great.
But it's in scale with Black Series. It's 1/12 scale.
Oh man, it's huge. Wow. Well,
Anyway,
we do have another kind of like segment within the segment, and that's burning questions. And so, for those of us who really didn't get to talk, like, No Chewing will ask a question, Toyota will ask a question, I might ask a question. But No Chewing, why don't you go first? Do you have a question for Dave?
Mine actually fits with what you just said about, these are the dioramas that you made. You have other ideas, but, finding the time. So my question was, what's the diorama that you've been meaning to make for like throughout your time of making dioramas that you just haven't gotten to?
well, I think I'm sticking with Star Wars because that's my first love. I would like to do an Endor bunker diorama with the Ewoks and the Scout Troopers. So that's what this shelf over here to my my right is going to be at some point. I have the bunker. I got a 3D printed bunker, so that's going to happen. And I haven't really decided what else next. I've got ideas.
Oh, that'd be cool, like an Ewok treehouse type.
Yeah, yeah. I would also like to do a Spider-Man, like a Daily Bugle, like
Do
a
it.
high rise.
Yes.
I think that would be cool. But
do you follow? Let me see if I can find him because he doesn't have like an actual name. That it's BT Dat DBS, like BTDAT DBS. He's another dial maker, and he makes a cartoon style diorama, so it looks like the animated series, or even maybe Spider-Man and his Amazing Friends.
I think I've seen his stuff.
Oh wow! I just clicked on his page right now. That's awesome.
It's
He does
unreal.
a lot of-
It looks like
does
you're
a lot
staring
of-
at a cell.
He does a lot of like dioramas for the X-Men the video game too. He does a lot of those.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for that tip. I'm going to follow him right now. This is great.
Mm-hmm.
Say
One
that
day
one
I'll buy
again.
a couple panels from him. BTDAT DBS.
It's all very, very cartoony looking. That's cool.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Actually, in his bio, he lists off what that stands for: Between the Devil and the Deep
Oh.
Blue Sea.
Yeah, I follow him.
Based out in Chicago.
Yeah. Okay. So Ice Ryan bought a few dioramas from him, or bought
yeah?
a diorama from him. That's where I saw stuff. Yeah, he does. I love his style. It's pretty
Mhm.
unique.
But yeah, a Daily Bugle would be amazing.
Yeah,
Like
there's
a
another guy in
bullpen.
Boston. Al's Figures has made some awesome city dioramas, some buildings and stuff. Yeah, I think he did a multi-story like office building like that. It looked awesome.
I think he did 7-Eleven recently,
Yeah, yeah.
which is pretty.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's funny.
Oh, he's local. I didn't realize that. Cool.
Yeah, he's local.
Toy Addict, do you have a question? Do you have a burning question?
Well, I just like the horror stuff. I'm not really into the Star Wars stuff, but I am thankful for the lesson here. So, I think you kind of like answered the question. That was going to be my question. Like, I know you're a big, you like the Spider-Man retro stuff. So that was going to be my question. Would you consider like in the future maybe like doing like not just the Daily Bugle, but like certain like New York settings to kind of like do different action scenes or action sequences with Spider-Man or Venom and stuff like that, like or even stuff like
Yeah.
the animated series. Where is it something like I think you've answered that already, man? Is it something that you have had in your mind for a while, or you're planning on doing, or?
Well, no, I would say that's like a newer idea for me because
Yeah.
I've just been so focused on the Star Wars collection.
Mm-hmm.
It's a matter of time, I've got full-time job and a bunch of family life and all that. So,
Mm-hmm.
but I like the idea, and it's a hobby that can continue on.
Yeah.
This is something I can do in my free time,
Mm-hmm.
decades from now too. I don't know. Let's see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
I just had a friend online ask me to do a little Predator diorama for him, so I'm going to try to do a jungle backdrop
that's awesome.
for him.
Nice.
Oh, that'd be cool. Especially
try to do something. Yeah.
Especially seeing your Dagobah set up, that'd be amazing to see what you do with water for Predator.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Those
Now you're
NECA
making it too
figures are
complicated.
those NECA figures scale a little big, so just keep that in mind.
Yeah, no, I'd have to upscale it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I guess my question is really like, everyone works differently. There's always different, even photographers here, they have a different style. Like the way Chewing goes through his like ideas to prove a concept to final product is a little different from the way I do it. If you want to walk us through, like when you have an idea, what do you do? Do you sketch it out? Do you download photos? How do you start?
Yeah, I get that question a lot, actually. I always start with the figures. It's the figures that inspire me. So if I have, I'll talk your guys' language, if I have, Spider-Man and Venom, or if I've got some horror figures or something, man, I want to do a cool scene. I want these two guys to be fighting on my shelf or something. You start with the figures and you kind of lay them out there. And then I think, okay, what can I do to add a background? Or Or I always think like it also has to fit in your display space. So if you're using a detolf, or if you just got like a cheap Walmart shelf, you got to think about how much depth you have and height, and what can you do in that space. So I think those are the two things, like which figures do you want to feature, and what's your, what are your dimensions, your size limitations.
Oh, okay.
And then usually I'll put those figures on the shelf and just get random blocks and pieces of stuff to kind of set the scene and play with it to see the way it fits, and then I'll figure out, and I'll sketch it out and figure out how I'm gonna what I'm gonna build. So
cool. Wow.
So like if you guys have a couple figures that you want to do something for, you start with a piece of styrofoam for them to stand on, a piece of cardboard behind them, and you can print out a picture from the internet, for a backdrop, and just paint a piece of styrofoam, and you start there, and then put some accessories in, right?
That's essentially what you did with Java.
Yeah, it's not that complicated. And you'll really love it when you do it, and you're like, oh, this is cool. It looks so good. So I just try to encourage people. I try to make my channel, be a place of inspiration, for other people to kind of go for it and try it,
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that. That's awesome. We typically ask toy photographers, what we're really trying to do is kind of refine our segment with our guests. But typically we use like the 3 C's, which is what do you collect, what camera do you use, and what do you like about toy community. Obviously, you don't necessarily snap. You're not a toy photographer, but you do display your figures. I assume you just use a phone?
I'm just using my iPhone 11 is what I have. Everything I've done is on iPhone 11. I have not invested in a camera. Sometimes I get blurry images and stuff, and I think, man, I should get a camera. But I'm not there yet.
All of us have a camera, and we get blurry images too. So
that's good to know.
Yeah,
because if you're holding the camera, like you need it on a tripod, it will get blurry. So, but I will tell you, it will frustrate you the first time around, and you're going to be like, "Why did I waste my money?" But don't worry, you just got to keep practicing.
Yeah.
And then
collection. What was the other question?
So you talked about your collection. You talked about the camera. What do you like about the community itself? And I think you've kind of alluded to it, but it seems like that's where you kind of reached out to.
Yeah, community is so important to me, and I absolutely love being in the community. That's why I'm doing this tonight with you guys. I am more of an extroverted, outgoing person, so I like meeting other people, and I was happy to meet you guys in person when I did, even though the circumstances weren't great, Chris. But especially with COVID, we've all been so isolated, and I think a lot of us have turned to the social media for those connections, and that's good. And for me, it's been a huge help for me, through YouTube. Facebook was where I started, and then YouTube and Instagram. But and I want to talk about ChrisCon for a little bit, because that is a huge point of community for me. It was through Instagram that I met a couple other collectors like myself in the area, and getting invited to a guy's house to hang out and talk toys and show action figures was just a really cool thing. And that happened through social media. So I encourage people to DM people that you want to hang out. Like, hey, you seem like a cool person, can we get together sometime?
Can I have a Corey check?
Yeah, it's a risk. It's a risk. But and it's a funny story. Like the first time I went to Chris's house from ChrisCon, I had an address, and that was it. I didn't know his name. I didn't know what he looked like. Because Instagram, people don't show their faces or say their names. And I had this address, and I pull up, and it was a nice house or whatever, and I pull up to the door. I'm like, all right, here it goes. And I just ring the doorbell, and a guy opens the door, and I'm thinking, okay, he's wearing a Marvel t-shirt and cargo shorts. He looks like he's dressing like me, and he's saying, hi, come into my basement, So and then 3-4 other guys show up. It was just so funny. We all dressed the same. We're all like guys in our 40s, wearing comic t-shirts and shorts, and it's like, all right, I kind of found my club here. I found my my group, and that was a year and a half ago, and that's turned into real friendships. It's really cool. So real life friendships, and now those are the guys I chat with every day. We have a running chat, just like you guys do, and like you had with Ryan, where we talk stuff like that all the time, and we're toy hunting with each other, buying figures for each other, keeping on the lookout. So I mean, community has been so helpful for me, and I know for so many people, through the hobby. So, I mean, I can't say enough. And ChrisCon was a way, that was the natural outflowing of it, which was for those of you who don't know, ChrisCon we had it in July here in Massachusetts, and it was an action figure convention for collectors by collectors, and it was not like a toy show where there were people selling figures and stuff, but it was all about the community. Really, it was about sharing the love of toy photography and dioramas and collecting, and there were games and giveaways, and just it was an awesome event. For those, I know for Sunti was able to go, and we'll do it again this summer. We're planning to do it again in August. Yeah, you won something. A lot of people. Chris gave away like $1,000 worth of figures. Just gave it away because he loves the hobby and he wanted people to have a good time. So
yeah, you could tell how passionate he was. He was on that stage all morning, just energy level never dipped. He just kept going. One of the funniest segments I was watching that thing was the "What's in the Box?"
Yeah,
where it wasn't like someone from the audience; it was one of the other people with you guys, and he's just like feels a little stiff, and he's like slightly critiquing the figure as he's figuring out what figure it was. It was hysterical. Like, oh, look at this joint. That doesn't sound good.
That was that was Chris's good friend Jeremy. So those guys are good buds, and it was just funny for Chris to tease him because he totally couldn't figure out what action figure he was holding in his hand. It's a hard thing to do. I imagine. I haven't tried that.
That's a great idea, though. That's actually a really great idea. That's awesome, and I think that's why we started Toy Talk, and it was right in the middle of the pandemic, and we felt we needed to connect to people somehow, and this was kind of our outlet to talk about toys, to talk about our collections, but also highlight other photographers and highlight other people by interviewing them, getting to know them, because community was really important in terms of bringing us together. And I think I talked to you about this, Dave. Like, I don't have many friends. I don't have any real life friends that I've grown up with or anything like that collect toys. So when I went and signed on Instagram and saw that people collect toys and take pictures of toys, I was like, wow, all of these people know exactly what I'm talking about, and I don't need to hide it anymore. And it's just something that I'm like, wow, let me talk to you about what Marvel Legends is. And then I realized I didn't know much about like toys in terms of like articulation, paints, paint sculpts, all of that. And I'm still learning. I'm still learning about this versus this. But it's really nice to see the community and the knowledge that everyone brings and different points of views.
Yeah, I think it's hysterical that the conversation doesn't stop. It's just ongoing for years now with some people. Where, as you said, like no one in my before sort of photography would do more than maybe like a few minutes of talking about something like that before clearly the well ran dry on interest.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it just doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't stop. It's one of those things that if you were at a dinner party and like you said, you talked about toys and someone would be interested for about 5 minutes, and then the conversation would stop because they wouldn't want to talk to you anymore. But yeah, it just keeps going, and every day there's like, hey, look what I got. Hey, that looks like a great figure. Hey, did you hear about this figure? It is also like super enabling, right? So
it is.
Like, oh,
but,
well,
like my little group of friends with the ChrisCon guys, we're all different and we all have different collecting, interests. Like I'm the Star Wars guy more than the other guys there. One guy hates Star Wars. He won't touch a Star Wars figure, so it's fine, but that's fine. We talk about what
sounds familiar.
Yeah. I'm okay with that. Not everybody has to like Star Wars,
Yeah.
And I'm exposed to all kinds of new figures that I would never see, and never be on my radar, So it's a pretty broad, it's a broad enough hobby, where there's a lot of different streams kind of coming together. So I think that's really cool. As long as you can be, you can be a good person to each other, treat each other, well and with respect. I think that's the key thing,
And that's the most important thing, actually. That's one of the reasons why I started it, because when I started all this, I started as just an inbox collector. And like Chris said, I have friends that collect, but I don't really have a lot of friends that collect toys. So I was the one having those conversations, or even like showing photos like, hey, I just bought this. And they're like, oh, you buy toys? And it's like, yeah, I buy toys all the time. So that's one thing I love about this community, where it's like, not only is there so much support in what everybody does, nobody's really critiquing everybody. They give like pointers that help each other out, but also they encourage people, because there's been so many great, like, even new photographers now, like I've seen them from when they first started and how much they've developed into what they're doing now, and I'm like blown away from the stuff they're doing. And it all comes from support and just people just encouraging, and just like you said, being just good, genuine, good people. And just this is fun. These are all toys at the end of the day. It's not like, what I'm saying? Like, I don't lose 8 hours of sleep unless I'm working, but I don't lose 8 hours of sleep over a fucking piece of plastic. I don't, and I'm never going to. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I think, from that, as you said, you formed relationships over, real friendships. And I feel like in 2 weeks we're gonna go to New Jersey Con, and we're going. I've met Santi in person, but I haven't met Toriak in person. I'm gonna meet Yimbo in person, Blitzfigs, like all these people in person that I've been talking to for like 2 years, right? Think about that piece. Like, that's kind of crazy. Like, we've been talking for 2 years and never met, and we know each other on this like whole nother level. And I'm really excited, and I think that just shows how this community can be so great, so positive, and how people can just bond over a piece of plastic. That is a wonderful hobby, a really wonderful hobby.
You're gonna put a restraining order on me.
My wife might, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, right. Just that's why we made the joke. I told Benny we should just take a photo together and just send it like put some ski masks on and then make the face.
And then just text it. Having a great time, hon.
Having a great time, and then have you like holding you, and you got to make your face like that'd be great.
Can't we do that? We need to do that.
We should send it to her. She's gonna have like the SWAT show up at God. We're gonna get arrested.
All right, one last thing. We're all about our segments here. Dave, we like to do a rapid fire. We give 30 seconds, and it's 4 simple questions. They're nonsensical questions. Well, not really, but we start with some easy ones. All right, let's go with favorite toy line. That's an easy one. You've already answered that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Star Wars Black Series right now.
Favorite toy.
Ooh, okay. I brought him. Favorite toy, right here.
Oh,
all right.
So this is my childhood Luke Skywalker, probably from 1982 or whenever it was. Yeah, but I've kept him all these years, and I always cherish him as just kind of a representation of my childhood. So
that's cool.
I'm gonna go with Ken or Luke.
Cool. Saltwater or freshwater?
Saltwater.
Oh wow, really?
I grew up in Alaska, so we saw whales and all that stuff.
You did?
Big, yeah. I grew up in
They had toys in Alaska?
I'm a big saltwater fan. No, they didn't have any toys. My dad would
toys
do
in Alaska?
Toys R Us runs. He would buy Toys R Us like shopping sprees every Christmas. So that's where we got the toys. He would go down to Seattle and he'd fill up a suitcase full of toys for Christmas. So that's where I got my problem from.
That's amazing.
Because we didn't have any toys up in Alaska, so anyway.
In Alaska.
Yeah, saltwater.
I have so many questions about Alaska now.
We can talk about Alaska another time.
Last rapid fire question, superpower.
Oh gosh. I don't know. I think, man, I want to go with like super strength or flying. I don't know. I'll go with flying just because, that's always been the fantasy, being Superman flying through the sky, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Well, I gotta say, Dave, this was a lot of fun. Thanks so much for joining us.
Mhm.
You really, I think you're one of the very first diorama guys that we've brought on. So it was really nice to see how you do your work, and how you start to finish and what comes out of it. I'll have to say, for a person that does it as a hobby, you're a very talented guy. I would
Mhm.
have I would have imagined that you're an engineer and you say that math and numbers are pretty much what you work with. I would have thought you worked on more of the structural piece where you're designing everything because of what you do with your dioramas.
Mhm.
So, um,
Yeah.
well, I can't wait to see what your next one is, and
Yeah.
we really appreciate you coming on. We
Eventually,
really do.
eventually, I'll branch out beyond Star Wars, but I still have some projects in mind before I do that. So
I mean, there's
Yeah,
so
you
many
got
things you can
plenty
do.
of. Yeah, it's endless. You could keep going.
but
Yeah,
the same materials and methods and techniques apply no matter what genre diorama you're making. So it's just crafting, and I really believe that anyone can learn it, through trial and error. Just if you want to do it, just go for it and do it.
well, I really liked your suggestion about, like, well, first things first, like, get a piece of styrofoam, stand your figure up, put a piece of styrofoam behind it, and see what you can do. See what you imagine.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
And I have a good idea for next ChrisCon to challenge you. Just because you said you used to
Okay.
make dioramas in a radio flyer wagon, I think you should do that as an adult. Build your next
Oh, that
diorama in a
that would be
wagon.
fun.
that
I
would be
like
cool.
that, Soti. I like that idea.
It's a
That's a
great
cool
idea.
idea. I like that.
He's
Thanks for
doing it.
that. Yeah,
That's
cool.
awesome. Um, is there? So plugging. This is kind of like the last plug before we end. But What would you like to plug, Dave? Obviously, your
I'd like to plug
YouTube.
my YouTube channel. Please subscribe, go check out those videos, because that's what I want to grow is YouTube. But on Instagram too. But yeah, YouTube's where I have my main focus. So
Um,
yeah, check me out on YouTube. And I do a monthly pickups video. Like the end of the month, I'll show I call it 6 figures a month, so my 6 top figures each month. So I do
I
that to
love
kind
that.
of keep in touch with collecting, and then I'll do diorama tutorials of stuff that I've built, and then some toy hunts and some toy reviews in there in between. So
Nice.
and anyway, but yeah, check out the YouTube. I'd appreciate it. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.
Awesome.
And hopefully you guys get some traffic too. I see you're trying to build your channel, so yeah.
Yeah, we're just trying to build it. We've made some changes the past month in terms of just toy talk, and it's been really good. We've seen some increase, and we just hope that people really enjoy it because
Yeah.
honestly, every Monday it's been really nice. We've been staying on a consistent path, and it's been a lot of fun. Just getting to know people and getting to know new artists and new just people in the community itself. I think what we're really looking for, and just this is for people who are listening, is we're really branching out. We're really not trying to stay within the toy photography. We're looking at customizers. We're looking at diorama makers. We're looking at maybe just bloggers. I've been reaching out to a few different people, and hopefully we'll get some hits. But really,
Mhm.
if you are interested, we'd love to have you as a guest. And honestly, we just like to hang out and have fun too.
Yeah.
So other plugs, Tustober later today. Today is Bad Guys.
Mhm.
Please post it, and we post Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. Really, for the whole month of October. We got
Yep.
Toy Addict. What did we have?
We
I
have
don't want to mess it up.
Wednesday. Black and Wednesday. It's a collaboration. Black and white shot every Wednesday in the month of October, and then we have
Hollow Screams.
that Hollow Screams every Sunday with at 7 p.m. with me and Josh, and then whoever else joins. Again, we're gonna be doing 31 days of Hollow Screams, just reviewing a lot of horror movies for spooky season. Old, new, doesn't matter. We're gonna have people on, and we're gonna just talk movies and what we like and rate them and just critique them and give our thoughts. Again, we had a great show on yesterday with First Strike Figs. It was great.
That was
we
fun.
got to review a great movie. So yeah, look forward to that. And then Pick Bar on Wednesday, Rowdy Boys. I'll be on there hosting with the Rowdy Boys on Wednesday for Pick Bar, and we're going to be featuring some photos of the community.
Great. Yeah, join us. Join Pick Bar. They're always great. They're always supporting the toy photo community. We also got Lazy Boys on Sundays. Check them out. And also Yimbo reviews everything. He's a huge supporter of ours. He was on earlier today. He's great, and you love him because you know what? He's the most positive guy on the internet. He really is. All right, everyone. Thanks a lot for joining us. We can't wait. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, all of those things. And we will see you next week with another episode of Toy Talk. Bye.
Thanks, guys. See you later.